Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are going to be going over our July 2021 monthly family budget. We're also going to be talking about our goals and some of our financial goals, some of our financial to-dos, but most importantly our actual monthly budget, and I am going to be using real numbers. I feel like I probably don't have to say that anymore after 4 years of doing these types of videos, but I do want to go ahead and throw that out there for those who may be new. Every now and again I do purposefully get a little lengthy and a little detailed and a little thorough in the way that I present this information and, you know, administer these types of videos, and today is every now and again. So in today's video we're going to be taking our time as we move through this. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into the video. Starting with our to-dos, our first to-do is to buy our friends an anniversary gift. My best friend and I were engaged around the same time and we got married in the same year and all of that, and it was super fun to be able to experience that with her. And while I don't really go out of my way to buy like everyone I know an anniversary gift, in this particular case, I guess it was unique because, you know, it was an experience that we had at the same time. Plus, I was friends with my friend and the spouse long before they even got married. So anyway, we have been sending each other anniversary gifts for, you know, 5 years, almost 5 years. It's been pretty cool, and so therefore that is why you see that in there, even though you probably don't see it any other month. So coming out of COVID, and they just had a baby, but coming out of COVID, I thought maybe gifting them a date night would be fun. Coincidentally, their favorite date night is our favorite date night. That is a dinner and a movie. Also, one of their favorite restaurants is our favorite restaurant. So I think we'll do maybe like a $75 gift card to Ruth's Chris, and then maybe like a $25 gift card or $30 to the movies. I just think that that would be fun, but I was just really trying to think this through and think about what would be a cool anniversary gift. Next up, I have a friend who is going to be having a baby girl, and she will arrive in September, but the baby shower is in July. One of two things can happen. I can technically go to this, although oftentimes I am excused from a lot of life events because I live 7 to 8 hours away from all of my closest family members and friends. However, I could potentially go to this because it is in my hometown, and so it would be a relatively inexpensive trip outside of gas and tolls. So I could go, or otherwise I will just be gifting her a gift from her registry, or a couple of gifts or whatever. Also, much like many of the other months of the year, I do need to schedule a hair appointment. I'm just putting this on my to-do list so that I can be mindful of that. And I guess that is a little unordinary in that the hairstyles that I get fluctuate a whole lot, and so therefore the prices fluctuate a whole lot. So anyway, I just wanted to give myself a reminder to go ahead and schedule that, and also to budget for that. Next up, we need to pay my husband's medical bill. You probably have heard us talking about this for a couple of months, but that's because we were anticipating the bill, and then we actually got the bill via like we saw it in his My Chart type of thing with Anthem, and then we actually got the bill from the actual hospital, but that actually can be paid in July. So as to not, you know, pay my medical bill, pay this bill, pay this bill, pay this bill, because we have had a lot of stuff going on the past couple of months, we are just going to pay his medical bill in July. So for which case, yes, we did switch car insurance, so we paid our car insurance premium in full in June this month, and then now we're just gonna pay the medical bill in July, and that worked out perfectly, and they're actually only like, they're both around the $1,700 mark also. Next up, I have purchased J. Cole tickets on here, but it's really like paying ourselves back. My husband, first of all, coincidentally, not even coincidentally, I think this was purposefully, but 3 of his first cousin and their partners all reside in the Orlando, Florida area. So they have invited him to a concert. I don't miss a J. Cole concert. I met J. Cole actually way back in the day, and I just love J. Cole. And we're gonna link up with 2 of the 3 of the couples, and then 6 of us are going. So everybody sent me their money. I purchased the tickets. Now I'm transferring the money from Cash App to one of our accounts, and then I'm gonna pay off the credit card. So technically we need to pay off the credit card. So technically it's kind of like paying ourselves back. It is the end of June at the filming of this video. I don't think all of the money will be transferred and hit our account by the end of June, so I'm just gonna put that in the budget for July in case it does roll over into July. Also, our credit card bill is due the first week of July or the first week of each month. So either way, that's something that needs to take place in July for sure. Next up, I'm pretty sure we're gonna get our solar panels installed. Don't ask. All I know is that we have been diving into the world of solar panels and learning about them, and I think we're gonna go ahead and go with it. We've already met with the guy and we've already had our site survey and all of that. And if you have solar panels, let me know down in the comments how that's been working out for you. I talked to my coworker who has had them for forever, who I've worked with for forever too, so I trust her opinion, and she loves them, and she's really the only person I really know with solar panels. But if you have any, do let me know your experience down in the comments, because we haven't done it yet. But I would love to hear some more stories or experiences before we do go through with it. But because of how little it really costs us to, you know, power our home, it for sure is going to make financial sense, of course. But yeah, just let me know down in the comments. And that is it for our to-dos. Let's move into our goals. And we have some goals that are really big for us, but I mean, they probably won't seem like the largest goals we've ever tried to accomplish here since we've been sharing our journey, but they are pretty huge to us. So let's go ahead and dive into that. So of course we want to stay below our food budget. My niece is here with me. She got here around the beginning of June, the beginning of this month. It is the last week-ish of June at the filming of this video. So she got here a few weeks ago. She started with camp. I definitely underestimated how much it would cost to feed her because she doesn't really eat the foods that we eat. Honestly, my husband doesn't really eat the foods that I eat. He pretty much just eats meat, and she pretty much just eats carbs, and then I'm eating meat and vegetables and fruit. Pretty much that's like what's going on here. Of course, I'm encouraging them, and we do try to make meals that will satiate everyone, but I definitely underestimated like snacks for camp, because I did put her in a day camp, so I underestimated some of that stuff for sure. Plus I didn't even really know when she was coming. I knew she wanted to come, just didn't really know when we were going to be able to work out the kinks, but my friend was able to bring her down when she came back home. Yeah, so for the month of July, I'm definitely going to be trying to continue to meal plan. We do meal plan together, all three of us, and we put in our grocery order each week, and that's been working out. But again, snacks here and there. The ice cream truck comes on certain days to camp and like stuff like that. I've severely kind of underestimated all of that. Next up is our largest goal, and honestly, if we accomplish this, I will probably feel more accomplished in completing this goal than, honestly, I mean, short of paying off our car that my husband drives, which is technically my car, but I've kind of been driving our newer car. But anyway, short of paying off that, I don't know that there's ever been a goal. I mean, even getting in this house was like, I mean, it was a huge goal that we accomplished, but this one is, let me just talk to you about it because it causes a lot of stress. We now have our additional investing withdrawn automatically at the beginning of the month. We can kind of choose like whenever we wanted that to happen, like we could choose different times, but I do like it coming out at the beginning of the month because the middle of the month is when our mortgage is due and some of our other bills. So I thought that it would make sense to kind of split up, you know, those heavy bills. And we invest thousands at the beginning of the month. And I'm grateful that we do it that way because it's kept us accountable and kept us on track. But I definitely also underestimated what that real impact would be like. And so basically we used to have a smaller buffer, like $500 or so, but that's not really working out because when we have thousands taken out at the top of the month that we used to not have, you know, up until this year, 2021, it has a severe impact. So we have to like switch around money and move around money a whole lot, and it's just annoying. So because July is an extra paycheck month for the both of us, we are going to take that time to try to get a month ahead. We're really not getting a month ahead on like bills and expenses. That's not really how I'm looking at it. I'm really thinking about getting a month ahead on our investing. So we're always a month ahead. So when they take the money at the beginning of the month, that's fine because we already have money in the account. So we really won't see the fruits of our labor until probably August, but that is what I'm really hoping for because again, having that come out at the beginning of the month it's just something new that we haven't had to deal with because, you know, it's been years since we've had a bill due at the beginning of the month and it's making such a large impact. So again, it's been causing a lot of me having to move around this and that and the third. So hopefully that will annihilate all of that stress. Next up, of course, I want to resume additional investing. We stopped it in June this month, so we'll need to for July. So in July, we'll need to make sure that it is resuming and back doing its thing at the beginning of August. Also, a goal of mine is to plan a summer trip. I have technically 3 nieces who live in the same household. It's a very long story, but just know that first of all, they just started being able to come down here by themselves and me like not having to put them in daycare or something like that. I have just been spending I've enjoyed spending time with just one of them and having them to just even have some time apart, because they rarely get time apart. So my niece's sister wants to come down here, so that'll be a swap eventually. But for the most part, because I'm gonna have such a short time, I guess, with each of them, I was thinking that I could do like something really fun with both of them in the summer. So I am trying to figure out and work with my niece to see like what her, you know, ideal summer trip would look like, or, you know, like she want to go to the beach or an amusement park. So I'm just trying to plan something like that. Anyway, that's what I'm hoping for. Also wanted to put a reminder in here to pay camp fees. Also, I want to resume dog training our little girl who was just here. Now she's hanging out on the stairs, just chilling. I wish you could see her, she's so cute. But she just graduated from basic training is what we're calling it. It's level 1 training. She learned basic commands, and we want to move her to level 2, which is just kind of the same thing, but a little bit more intensive, like a higher intensity type of situation. And we want to do that, but we were thinking of giving her a wee bit of a break. She does struggle with some anxiety. She is a rescue that my husband brought home about 4 months ago, so she does have some anxiety. And you know, when she came here, she had like no patience because she wanted that instant gratification. And so she's come a long way, but I thought maybe we can give her like a little break. But I don't think I'm giving her a whole month off. I don't even want to give myself a whole month off. So I'm thinking in July we will probably start back up, or in August we'll start back up. Either way, I do want to go ahead and have it paid for in the month of July. For paydays, we are going to potentially have an extra payday for both my husband and me from our full-time jobs. For me, I will get paid 3 times, and for my husband 5, but he actually is like potentially transitioning roles, so he may not have an extra, and his paydays may change up depending on when he starts or when he resigns from his current role. So we don't even really know how that's going to work out. But as of right now, as it stands, we are both set to receive an additional paycheck in July. Our major money goal for the month of July is to create that buffer. Obviously, that buffer is a good amount. Literally, it could buy us a fence. We do want to get a fence now since we have our puppy girl. More importantly than this fence is creating this buffer, because that's going to reduce our financial stress by so much. Spending $3,000 on a fence is only going to increase my stress, because I could be using that money to create this buffer. So that is our major money goal for the month of July. For our income, we're going to be budgeting $10,000 even. Funny how that worked out. And that is going to be composed of income from my full-time job, income from my husband's full-time job, and then also the money that we are set to receive from our business or side hustles, whatever you want to call it. So those are the 3 payouts. Because we do an every dollar budget, our expenses are going to be the same as our income, and we're budgeting $10,000. We do a zero-based budget like I mentioned, and so we're going to assign a job, a duty, an assignment to each one of those $10,000. Also, if I haven't mentioned, it seems fitting to try to create this buffer in the month of July, because we are receiving an extra paycheck, and this $10,000 is a little unique in that we are set to receive extra paychecks in the month of July. So first up, we have our mortgage coming in at $1,599. That will consist of principal, interest, property taxes, and insurance, aka escrow. Our security for our home is going to be $51.47, and that is through Vivint. Next up, we have a relatively new bill that is pest control. We signed up for pest control this month in June, I believe, and so we had to pay a larger fee for our initial visit, but going forward for the next year, it is going to be $46, which I've done the math on that, and I've calculated how much that's going to be a year, of course, and that is definitely a lot of money. But I also did a lot of research on the products that we would need to purchase to do the pest control ourselves, and at this present moment, we really just don't feel like being bothered with doing the pest control, so we're just going to pay someone to do it for the first year, see how that does. We have killer ants. We've had them since we moved in December of 2019. They are nothing to play with, and we've tried to mitigate that whole situation ourselves, but I think we need better, higher quality products. So we're just going to see how they do for the year, and then otherwise that will at least give us some time to figure out if we want to continue with them or figure out how we want to do the pest control ourselves. For electricity, that is going to be $194.05. I was thinking why that's so high, and that is because my niece is here when we're not here. So normally our system detects when we're away and it shuts off, but since there's a human still here, because there was a human here for a number of weeks, it didn't shut off and the air was running, and so therefore that's why I believe our electricity bill is higher. By the way, we do pay Georgia Power for our electricity. Currently, that may change next month and the month after this in August. Not really sure when all of the changes will take place with the solar panels and whatnot. We still will pay Georgia Power, by the way. We will have to pay a connection, like to be able to be connected with them in the event that we do need to use them for energy. So we will always have a Georgia Power bill, but it'll be very minute, like $13. Next up, we have our phone. That is through Cricket. We pay $40 for unlimited for me and $40 for unlimited for my husband. Next up, we have cable/internet. We don't technically have cable. We have Sling TV, which is kind of like a streaming service, but it works just as good as cable. It works like cable if you ask me. That is going to be $35. For internet, we pay AT&T $70.80 for high-speed internet. For water/sewer, I'm budgeting $36.60, unlike this time last year when my niece was playing in the sprinklers all day, every day for entertainment. Now she is going to camp, and she's a year older and allegedly a year cooler, and so therefore she is not running through the sprinkler system. So therefore I'm anticipating our water bill to be the same that it was last month, even though I haven't quite gotten the bill yet. But for the last several months it's been $36.60, which I think is the lowest that it can be. For Reckless AF funds, this is going to be the money that my husband and I can spend freely. Now, 3 something will go towards the J. Cole tickets, and so I'm just putting that in that category, pretending like I'm spending the money in July, and then the rest will be spent on hair, nails, haircuts, whatever my husband, which he hasn't gotten a haircut in a while. His hair's cut, by the way, if you didn't know, he cut it. But anyway, just whatever we want to spend our money on frivolously. Next up, we have donations/gifts. So we budget money each month, a smaller amount typically for donations/gifts. We give a lot, but we also just put in our budget that we show online a small amount that typically covers the regular giving that we give to actual people, like, well, it's kind of like regular random giving. So like there's always a birthday or something at work. There's always a tab that we want to pick up for someone or something like that. But in this case especially, we are using this money for the anniversary gift and the baby shower gift. Next up, we have toiletries. This is what we're going to budget for: paper towels, bleach, I mean, you know, like whatever types of toiletry items we choose to purchase, like those types of things. That's what we're going to budget for the month of July. Now, I'm not technically budgeting anything for travel. If I do have to be involved in the switch, i.e. if my niece's mom doesn't initiate the switch or help with the switch and I need to meet halfway or go home, that's going to require me to stay over. Normally my husband and I will just go together, but we definitely would have to stay over because, I mean, we're not driving 14 hours round trip in one day. So for which case we can always stay somewhere for free, depending on where we land, because I have friends and family members like in the whole area, in the whole state. But we typically always stay for free. I've never gotten a hotel, and then we really just have to pay for gas or any type of like hometown favorites or whatever. So even if we do travel there, I could still just take the money from food/dates and take the money from like Miscellaneous or something like that if I need to. Next up, we have house. This is the money that I'm going to budget to keep the house running, and usually it's having to do with some home decor. I kind of just weigh my options. Is there like a product, like some drill bits that we need to purchase over some pillow covers, or like what is it that we need to purchase for the home? Do we even need to purchase anything like really important for the home? If not, then I tend to use it on decorating the home and even home furnishings, but we are a long way away from completely furnishing and decorating this house, but we are getting closer and closer each month that passes. Also, if I haven't mentioned it, we do obviously have the ability to earn more money depending on how hard we go with any of our side hustles or the business. So typically, if we do earn more money in that area, that is what we use to furnish and decorate the house. Again, it's important, but it's not more important than any of our other financial goals. For miscellaneous, I budget about $100 each month for just random stuff that takes place that I didn't quite budget for. So that can be a bunch of different things. Again, if we go home, we'll have to pay for tolls, so that could be for tolls. For pet, I'm budgeting $280. So I found my sweet spot. If she doesn't go to the vet and I don't have any vet expenses, then she is costing us about $150. And soon that will go down after her spaying falls off of her wellness plan, because we pay a certain amount for her wellness plan each month. But then when she was getting her spaying, they kind of tacked that on there. And so after that falls off in a couple months, then her wellness plan will go down. And then at that point, we will just need to pay for treats, which when she graduated, she got a huge thing of treats. So I don't even think I need to buy her treats in July. Other little random miscellaneous things like new toys and stuff like that. And even though I just said $150 was the sweet spot, I'm budgeting a little more because we are anticipating paying for her training in the month of July. Gas for our cars, I'm going up to $200. I am realizing that with camp and my niece and doing this and doing that and all these other things, I don't think we're going to be doing $150. Especially with the gas prices as well. I don't think we're going to see $150 again for a while. So I'm just going to be budgeting $200 for the foreseeable future. Car insurance, we're not budgeting anything because this month in June, we paid our car insurance premium in full. So we don't have to worry about car insurance again until December. And we do that because we save, I think, what is it, like $400 by doing so, by being able to pay it in full. That's not the case for every insurance provider. I'm aware of that. So do check with your insurance provider to see if that is an option to, to be able to save a little bit of money, or a lot of money in our case. Which reminds me, they told me another one of my husband's speeding tickets will fall off in August. So call back in August to see if that will fall off. And when it does fall off, if that is going to affect our rate, then they will just give us a refund for the money that we no longer have to pay. So anytime you pay up your car insurance, just FYI, and you take off a car or you change cars, or you make some type of change which would yield a refund, they'll normally just refund the money back to the card that is on file or that you use to pay the premium with, or they will send you a check in the mail. Next up, we have health insurance. That is for my husband alone. So that is $226.42. We are thinking that if he does start this new role, well, we know for sure we won't have to pay this amount like out of pocket anymore. It will then start coming from his check. So I'm excited for that. I know it's not going to be anywhere near this amount, so it's going to be even less. So I'm excited for that, but there will be a time period where he'll have to wait. So I'm assuming that won't really start until open enrollment, which per his training on all of his benefits and whatnot, that would start in November. Life insurance for the both of us is $42.19, and that is through Fidelity. And I didn't mention, but he has Anthem health insurance. We use PetSmart's wellness plan, and our car insurance and home insurance is through Progressive. You don't hear me mention anything about home insurance because that is a part of our mortgage. For food/dates, I have a weird number here, but I'm just kind of budgeting what was left over after putting in the amount for the buffer. And so that is what we are going to shoot for. We have been going on lots of family outings with my niece. Again, I just want to spend every really minute that I have free with her, other than when I'm filming or at work, or actually, yeah, that's pretty much it. So we have been doing a lot of things. Some things are like $5 free, $10, nothing super expensive or anything like that, which is kind of why I want to end her time here with like a something maybe outside of the city. So anyway, I'm hoping that this will be enough, because I do just put anything that we do together, either that, whether that's my husband and me, I put any dates or outings and food and whatever in the food/dates category, and I'm doing the same with my niece being here. For my husband's loans and my loans, they are both in virus forbearances, and they will come out of the forbearances at the end of September, and yours probably will too, unless they extend it again. Car loan is through Toyota, and because we have Toyota, and that is going to be $314.34 in the month of July. My husband's medical bill is $1,747.67, and we are looking to pay that, or need to pay that, in the month of July. We're not putting anything additional towards retirement. I don't even think I said this. Did I say it? Yeah, I think we said it. I don't even know if I said it, but I stopped the additional retirement in the month of July. Again, it will resume in August, and so we stopped it so that we could get a month ahead, so that it flows easier for the rest of the year. For savings, we're looking at $3,250. If there's any fluctuations with any of the other categories, or if we're going over in certain categories, then I would take the money from the savings, just FYI, but my goal would be not to go below $3,000. So rolling into August, I want to make sure that we have at least $3,000 so that as we move forward, we always have about a $3,000 buffer in our main checking account. For the current debt that we're working on, we're currently working on my husband's student loans. He has remaining $12,704.48. So since we've been together, we've paid down literally half of his student loans, but really we just paid down his loans. I think there was like a year we were paying down his loans, I think 2019, and then we stopped to save up a down payment for the house and closing costs and all of that. And then COVID, so they were in a virus forbearance, and now still COVID. And so our hope is to pay these off by the end of the virus forbearance, if not then the end of the year. And then once this is done, our goal would then be next year to pay off the car that we just got. Okay, so that is it for our July 2021 family monthly budget. I know that was a whole lot, but again, I just wanted to be specific and thorough and just really share that information with you guys in case there are any new people here, or in case there was information that people who weren't new didn't know about. So that is it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Remember, if you have solar panels, let your girl know, or if you know anybody with them, leave a comment down below. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.